Hello class, this is your teacher Mr. Lucero and we're going to start classes with vocabulary number 2. This is on page 32. Okay, this is the page 32. Now we're going to check our vocabulary. So we have two columns, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and in the other side I have similar words. What's the difference? What's the difference? The difference is that in the second part, it's like normal. For example, here you have hot. No, oh, it's hot. But in the first part, it's like when you say very, very, very hot. No, so in this case, hot is like boiling. Hot could be normal. Okay, hot could be normal, but boiling is like very, very hot, extremely hot. Okay, so let's see. Boiling is letter C, and let's go here, letter C. Okay, that's easy. Okay, that's easy. Now let's continue with amazing. What is amazing? Okay, amazing is in Spanish you say asombroso, no? But here amazing is like happy. Sorry, excuse me, it's like good. Very, very good. Amazing. It's like, for example, hey, how do you feel? Good. Do you want an ice cream? Yes, but you imagine that you have an ice cream only one bowl, and you see a big ice cream. It's like amazing. Now let's continue with awful. Awful is like very, very, very bad. Here. A, B. Boiling, letter C. Delighted. What is delighted? Delighted is like encantador. So it's like when you are so happy. Letter D. What about enormous? Yes, enormous is like in Spanish. Very, very, very big. Letter D. What about exhausted? Yeah, it's similar to Spanish. It's very, very, very tired. No? What happened here? Letter F here is letter D. I'm sorry. Okay? Freezing is like very cold. Letter G. Terrifying is like frightening. Okay? Letter H. And tiny is like small. Okay? It's like small. Letter I. So here I have the answers. Excuse me. Move. What happened here? What happened here? Okay, I don't know what happened. I'm going to do it once again. Okay. I don't know what happened. Now I'm going to use my pen. No. So if I say amazing, amazing is like good. So this is letter A. Awful is like very bad. Awful. Boiling is like very hot. Delighted is like very happy. Okay, delighted. Enormous is like very big. Letter E. Exhausted is like very tired. Freezing is like very cold. Terrifying. And finally, no, and finally, letter I is like tiny, very, very, very small. Okay, here you have your activity. Now let's continue. Listen, check, and repeat. Okay, let's listen, check, and repeat.
Unit 2, Track 23, Activity 2. A.
Amazing. Good.
B.
Awful. Bad.
C.
Boiling. Hot.
D.
Delighted. Happy.
E.
Enormous. big,
F,
exhausted, tired,
G,
freezing, cold,
H,
terrifying, frightening,
I.
tiny, small.
So the answers were right. No? The answers were right. Now listen. Teacher, mister, if I use, for example, big or amazing is good? Yeah, no problem. When you say, sorry, good or amazing, say good, okay, everything is good. No? But when something is more than good, you say amazing. Okay? Now listen. Here I have an exercise. Write extreme adjective for each sentence. I don't like flooding, it's frightening. So what do you have to do is to replace frightening. Okay, let's see, frightening. Here is frightening. No? Here is the word frightening. So frightening is letter H. Terrifying. No? And terrifying is here. Look, the journey was really bad. Okay, bad. Now let's see, letter B. The journey was really awful. That's all. No, you replace. You replace. Let's continue. I love Greek. It's good. I love Greek is a ver, good is letter A. Ah, amazing. No, and you replace amazing. Look, my sister was tired when she came back home from New York. Tired. Exhausted. No, exhausted. Let me see. What was the word? Exhausted. Perfect. Exhausted. Let me see. Exhausted. Mark was happy. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know why this happened to this book. Okay, let's wait please for a while. No, but the next word is, or the next phrase is, Mark was happy when he saw his hotel room. No, Mark was happy. And what can you replace with happy? Huh? Delighted. Perfect. But let's wait for writing, please. No, and that's delighted. Now let's see. Let's wait for a minute. Perfect. Here. Mm, here. No. Here. Insert. No. Here was exhausted. Exhausted. Now here is it delighted. No. Let me see. The delighted. Now let's check it. This much better. Delighted. It's hot in the bus. No, it's hot in the bus. Can I open the window? Hot. Boiling. Perfect. There were 300 people on our flight. The plane was big. No, the plane wasn't big. The plane was enormous. Perfect. Enormous. Excellent. Now, what have you done? You replace. Now, look, the title says extreme adjective. Adjetivos extremos. So, you write more than that, or you say more than that. Okay? Now, let's see if you understood the idea. I really enjoyed my vacation. Athens was amazing, was delighted, or was enormous. Excellent. Athens was amazing. That's the answer. I'm tiny. I'm exhausted. I'm freezing. I'm going to bed early. Exhausted. Excellent. Oh no, I haven't drunk my coffee and now it's boiling, freezing, or terrifying. I haven't drunk my coffee. No, no coffee. Uh-huh. Okay, if I left my coffee, it freeze. In this case, freezing. Julie was delighted. Julie was tiny, or Julie was excited with the souvenir I gave her. Delighted. Excellent. Here you have the answers. Perfect. Remember, this is the vocabulary, and we are replacing those words for those ones. Okay? Now let's continue. Here says reading activity. Reading number 2. Look at the picture and title of the text. What do you think the biography is about? Look at the picture. There is a boy, and the title says Solo Sailor. What do you think is this title about? What is sailor? Sailor is like marinero. Okay, could be the sailor boy. Yeah, that's good. It's a possibility. Okay, it's a possibility. So here we have the activity. We're going to listen to the activity.
Unit 2, Track 24, Activity 2.
Solo sailor.
Mike Perham didn't have much time to celebrate his 17th birthday. Not because he had exams or was working, but because he was in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Mike has just become the youngest person to sail around the world solo. His amazing journey took him 9 months, and he sailed over 30,000 miles on his 50-foot yacht called TotallyMoney.com. Mike had a lot of adventures on his trip. Sailing conditions in the Indian Ocean were wonderful, but he had to sail through enormous 50-foot waves in the South Pacific after leaving New Zealand. He didn't have many problems with his boat. However, he had to stop in the Canary Islands, Portugal, and Cape Town to repair his autopilot, the machine that sailed the boat while Mike slept. Fortunately, he didn't meet any whales or sharks. Mike returned home to the UK exhausted but ecstatic to be a world record holder. What was the first thing he wanted? Some steak and chips. Mike didn't have any fresh food on the boat, so he didn't eat a lot of fruit or vegetables while he was sailing. What an amazing and terrifying journey.
Okay, so you were right. No, there was a sailor, and also it's a boy. Okay. Now let's see. Here I have some questions. So the answers are here on the reading. For example, where did Mike celebrate his 17th birthday? Huh? Mike had a lot of adventures on his trip. Sailing condition on the Indian Ocean. No? Okay, so Mike perhaps didn't have enough time to celebrate his birthday, not because he had exams or was working, but because he was in the middle of the Indian Ocean. This is the answer. No, this is the answer. Number one. Let me see. So, in the middle. Now, what's this? He was in the middle, okay? He was in the middle of the Indian Ocean. That is the answer. Perfect. Number two. What world record? What world record did Mike set? World record. Let me see. Can you find the answer? Yes, he was the youngest person to sail around the world solo. But what is that? Here. Here is the answer. Mike has just become the youngest person to sail around the world solo. Teacher, what is solo? Solo is individual. No, he hasn't had any helper. No, he was alone. Excuse me. Much better here. So the answer is he was the youngest. He was the youngest person to sail around the world solo. That's the answer. Let me see. Come on. I don't know what happened with this book. No, it moves, and we lose times here. I'm sorry, class. No, but there is another question. As this book is uploading, I'm going to continue with another question. How big were the waves in the South Pacific? How big? We're talking about the height of the waves, no? Let me see. Give me a second. Much better. Yes, it's here. Here. Perfect. Let's see. The answer was he was the youngest, no? He was the youngest person to sail around the world solo. Perfect. That's the idea, okay? That's the idea. Now let's continue. How big were the waves in the Pacific Ocean? How big were the waves? ¿Qué tan altas eran las olas? Yes, it's here, no? Enormous 50 feet waves. 50 feet. Teacher, what 50 feet? 50 pies. 50 feet. Okay, that's the answer. Let's continue. Why did Mike stop in the Canary Islands? Because he need to repair his autopilot. No, exactly. To repair his auto what? Autopilot. Excellent. Now let's see. Here are the answers. Okay, class? Okay. Okay, let's continue. Here we're going to see our grammar part. So on page 33, it says countable. No, I'm sorry. It says review quantity and countable nouns. Look at the chart. Okay, look at the chart. Circle the quantifiers and underline the countable nouns. The uncountable nouns, I'm sorry. Countable and uncountable nouns. First, circle the quantifiers. Okay, let's see. When I say quantifiers, it's like, for example, a lot of. Okay, a lot of. Here also is a lot of. No? We say some or few. Some, excuse me. excuse me, some, a few, some, little. Teacher, can be a few for little. Yes, I'm going to explain you later. Okay, and here, many, many, and much. Let's see here, any, and any. Okay, listen, those are our quantifiers. Now, underline the nouns. That's much easier for me. Whales, fresh food, whales, fresh food. No, here we're using an adjective. No, the idea is food. Whales, food, whales, food. Okay, adjective. Sorry, nouns and quantifiers. Okay, teacher. Pero how what? Now this is very easy. First of all, you have countable nouns, and also you have uncountable nouns. For example, when I say countable, I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. No? And when you say uncountable, it's not possible to count. For example, here is a picture. No? And you say how many, you use how many with countables. And how much with uncountables. Be careful on that. How many whales? How many whales can you see? Or this is in the past. How many whales did you see? Okay, I can count. I say 1, 2, 3, 4. But maybe there are some under the water, or maybe are not on the picture. No? Then you can say he saw a lot of. A lot of. What does it mean? Muchas. A lot of whales. For example, you say, teacher, but I only saw, I don't know, 4 or 5, not a lot. Okay. You can say he saw some, is one possibility, or a few. A few means like unas cuantas. Some, algunas. Remember, we're in countable nouns. He didn't see many whales. Many like muchos, muchas. Or he didn't see any whale. Any or many. Okay? Now here, with uncountable. With uncountable, remember, it's impossible to count. Okay? It's impossible to count. So, excuse me, once again, this book, I don't know what happened with this book. It drives me crazy. Okay, with uncountable, you use a lot of. That is okay, there's no problem. You use, for example, some. That is good. And also, you use a much. Sorry, a little. Let me see. Here. It's here, no? For example, you say, in uncountable noun, you say, first of all, how much? How much fresh fruit did you have? Oh, he had, or did he had? He had a lot of fresh fruit. A lot. Mucho, bastante. Or he had some fresh food or a little fresh food. It means that you don't have too much. No? You have some or a little. Un poco. In the case of negative, you can say, he didn't have much fresh food. Not much. Or, he didn't have any fresh food. In my personal opinion, when I use negative, I usually use any. I don't use many or much. No? Well, it's my personal opinion, but the book shows us that it's possible. Okay? Now, remember, countable and countable. For example, I have here in my hand, I have 3 books. Look, let's see, here, I'm going to open this. I have 3 books. I have some books for me. I have some books. Or I have a few books because there are 5 books. No, there are 5. I have 3. I have a few books. No, it's a possibility. Now let's see. For example, I have some water. In the case of water, remember water is uncountable. Or liquids are uncountable. But what is good for you? The good thing is that you use some for countable and some for uncountable. You can say I have a lot of water. I have a lot of water. You have a lot of water. That's good. But you don't say I have a few water. No, that is not possible because a few is for countable now. In that case, you say I have a little water. Okay, uncountable. Now let's see. Here, for example, I have number 2 and says, look at the sentences in activity 1. Okay, those sentences. Complete the rules of countable and uncountable nouns with the words in the phrases. A lot of, can be, many, much, one by one, plural, some or any. For example, letter A. Countable nouns can be counted one by one. I told you, countable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And can be made plurals. Okay, one important thing is that countable can be plurals to indicate a large quantity. For example, here I have how many books? How many? Countable. Aha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Teacher, you have 5 books, of course. I have to have 6, but no, I have 5. So teacher, you have some books? Okay. You have a lot of books? Well, okay. You have a few books. Excellent. Excellent. Let's continue. Countable nouns can be preceded by many or a lot of. No, countable noun. Many or a lot of. To refer an indefinite quantity, they can be replaced for some or any. Also can use some or any, I told you. Uncountable nouns can be counted one by one. Remember, in uncountable, it's not possible to count. Okay, it's not possible. You can't be, sorry, uncountable nouns can be counted one by one, nor can they be made plurals. Okay, tampoco plurals, singulars. Okay, look, to indicate large amount, uncountable nouns can be preceded by much or a lot of. No, much like this, no? To refer and indicate amount, they can be preceded by some or any. How many and how much are used to ask about quantities and amounts. How many plus countable noun is in the plural. How much and countable noun is in singular, always in singular, okay? How much is also used to talk about prices. For example, if you go to the store, to the market, to the supermarket, to Mega Plaza, and you want to ask for the price of something, you say how much. How much did that trip cost? How much do this jacket cost? How much do these apples cost? How much? Remember with prices. Now let's see here. I have some activities. It's a trip to Australia. It's a trip to Australia. I'm asking for money. The teacher told me that when I ask for money, say how much. No, remember? How much? Countries, plural. Would you like to visit? How many? Free time. The time is uncountable, class. How much free time do you have for a visit to the museum? People is plural. Okay. How many people are traveling with you? And that's easy. Okay. Now here I have another exercise. It says choose the correct word. Now let's see. Dear parents, next week is the annual school adventure camp for 9th grade students. All students will need to bring some or much warm clothes. Some, because warm clothes is in plural. But they don't need many or much because the camp only lasts for 3 days. Many is for countable and much for uncountable. We're talking about clothes, okay? Please pack a few or pack a little extra socks. A few, no countable, remember countable. Because the camp is cold at night. Students do not need to bring any or many food. Uncountable, class, uncountable, any, perfect. The camp provides all meals with a lot of or much fresh fruit. A lot of, okay, okay. A lot of, and vegetables, of course. They can bring a little or a few money. Uncountable, a little. Remember, money is uncountable, okay? But not too much, or not too many. Not too much. Students cannot bring a little or any gadgets, like cell phones, MP3, or something like that. Any, any. Like MP3 players or cell phones. The teachers have cell phones for emergency. See you next week, the teachers. And this is our class. Okay, countable and countable. For next class, we're going to work a description of a journey. Now, my advice for you is to check this writing about Nick, because you are going to work on this next class, writing a description. Okay, page 34. Okay, page 34. And also we're going to check vocabulary in pictures. Okay, and grammar guide. Okay, class, it's been a pleasure to work with you. Thank you so much. Bye bye.